Good morning and welcome to the Hair Curler Chronicles. Tim and Nancy Danter coming to you from the bathroom in Kitchener-Waterloo. Today is
Friday, all day.
TGIF.
Yeah.
Wow, this week went by fast. We're this is the last Friday of March. Can you imagine that? Next week we'll be into April.
Yep. Hey, listen, I want to talk about planning, but you know what? I don't think you think it is that I'm going to talk about in regards to planning. So I want to talk about planning in this episode, and I think what the people are going to get out of this is a total shock and a total 180 from what we all talk about with cryptocurrency and what we talk about with investing and financial diets and stuff. But it does tie back to planning. As the folks know, or may not know, for my living, I do driver rehabilitation. And part of that is a part where we do functional assessments on drivers who have dementia, or suspected dementia, suspected Alzheimer's, concussions, brain injuries, strokes. You see, here in Ontario, Canada, I get these clients through a health system that are sent to us by the Ministry of Transportation here, and their license has been suspended. And this week has been kind of a tough week because when they get to us, they go through a clinical portion of an assessment and then they go on the road with myself and an occupational therapist in the back seat. And it's either, yes, you keep your license. Yes, you can keep your license for the time being, but you've got to do some remedial training to see if that's going to help improve you to a standard of being allowed back on the road with a license. Or number three, no. And this week I've had a lot of seniors, and I've had some really tough conversations that have kind of enlightened me to the fact that we never plan for the point of having to talk to our loved ones and our older generation about the time that we have to hang up the keys. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This talk today is not about financial planning. It's about planning for something that we don't even think about. We plan for vacations, we plan dinners, we plan to go to the grocery store, we plan everything in life. But is it something that ever crosses your mind that we have to plan for the day we stop driving?
No.
It is something that we need to think about, folks. We're in a generation where at our age, we're the in-betweens. We have parents, we have us, and we have our kids. And it's a matter of...
But, okay, so as this relates to the world of crypto
I don't want it to relate to...
No, but I'm thinking it does in some levels, because what I think with our conversation yesterday about what is an NFT, and that whole new world where we're going to go to, where everything is digitized, and we're going to be able to even think about it like our social insurance number could be an NFT, our passports could be an NFT, all that stuff could be an NFT. So that's the future state. So in the world where you're talking, some of the futuristic state that I see us having is those autonomous driving cars. So a senior it wouldn't matter. They have their car, eventually it'd just be programmed. Somebody will come, the car will just come over, get them, and then take them wherever they're gonna go. They don't have to cognitively be able to do it. So I see seniors in the future having the ability to, I hope it happens in our generation so we never have to have this conversation or this thought. But anyways, I know where you're going. We need to create a plan, or not even a plan.
I think it takes people off guard. I've had to have 2 conversations with family members about hanging up the keys, and it humbles me to think that one day that's going to be me and one day that's going to be you. And I have been a driving instructor for 34 years and done millions of kilometers of driving. I love driving, that's what I do. It is a source for all of us of independence. And you figure that some of these folks have lost their spouse, so, that's a kick in the pants to them perhaps, they may be in a retirement home or a home where they're just there, and you take driving away from that, and that's their independence gone.
I know, but again, if you're planning, to your point earlier, if you're planning, then they need to be thinking about planning that they're not just going to have money to be able to golf in retirement or to be able to go to Florida in retirement. Right. They need to be planning that they could require a driving service.
Depends on the amount of their investment. Are they going to be able to afford a self-driving car? I don't think that our generation will ever see it, but it's a matter of financially planning. You are right about what do. We financially plan for food, shelter, and all that stuff, but I don't think we plan about the fact of when we hang up the keys and transportation. Because when we get to that age, and if we're in Kitchener and the kids are in Toronto or, heaven forbid, Vancouver, what do?
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that these cars are going to be available by the time we get to that phase. I'm not even, actually, I've stopped worrying about that because I really believe we're going to have autonomous driving cars. And the electric vehicle's coming fast and furious, but the autonomous driving car where I can just I always said when I was on the road as a sales rep, I would have liked an autonomous driving car because I could actually do my work and it just takes me from place to place.
No, you can't do that. Yeah, and that's a misconception. And folks, I understand what you're saying because it's a convenience, but you still have to be aware and mentally engaged in the act of driving, because
maybe in early days, but I'm thinking in future state, you're going to get in the car and it's just going to take you. And then I think we don't even need to pay for parking in the future. I think we'll just send the car home and it will sit in the driveway. And then when you have to go get the kids, the car just goes down, the kids get in the car takes it home, drops them off, goes back. But now I don't even think we're going to be going to an office, because after the pandemic, what would I need to go to the office for?
I just know what I know about what the current state is and where we are with autonomy and driving. I understand, but we're talking right now.
I know, but this is the same concept of Bitcoin, and everybody goes, Bitcoin that's great for now, and there's an elite few, but it's not going to be the reserve currency. It's not going to be this. Yeah, right now. But what if the future state is this? This is, I think, what we're talking about.
Well, and yesterday the announcement came out that good old Elon was now going to accept Bitcoin for purchases of his Tesla.
Right.
And there's so many different types of other services and products that are in the background running on the.
He just wants to gain more Bitcoin because you can't get them; they're scarce. It's hard to get them. So he's trying. I think it would be so foolish, unless you're a gajillionaire and you don't care about money anymore. I think it'd be so foolish to use a Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin's going to go up in value. So if you buy a Tesla right now with one of your Bitcoin or whatever, you'd need a couple of Bitcoins for sure to buy one of those things. If you did that, then the price of the Bitcoin goes skyrocketing. You're just going to be like...
And you think about it in this, and I know this is a really weird way of looking about it, but if you're under attack, you're always going to leave one bullet in the chamber just in case.
That makes no sense, Tim.
Made sense to me. I don't know.
I know. This whole thing has made no sense today, except for planning is important.
Yes.
Planning is important. I'm not worried about our driving stuff. I'm not. We are taking care of our investments.
We all are going to be susceptible at some point in time, most of us, to cognitive deficiencies, right, Fran? So, we have to plan. This is one thing that no one talks about. We're all talking about Bitcoin. We're all talking about planning for vacations. We're all planning dinners. But I'm just trying to get the point out that we have to be aware of identifying when our older relatives are getting to a point where they've got to retire. So what are you going to do? Are you going to use the Bitcoin as a hedge to help that? Because that wasn't in the initial plan. I don't know. But here's some tips. If you've got someone that you're worried about and they're driving, you need to A, be aware of when you're talking to them, do they forget a lot? B, take a walk around their car and look for dings and stuff like that. And C, are they saying things to you such as, oh, I'm getting lost, I forgot where I was going, etc., etc. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if they go to a doctor or if they go to a hospital for anything and they're identified, the fiduciary right of a physician is to suspend their license, and then it goes to a whole different level. Just saying.
This is an awful conversation.
Well, it's a conversation that folks have to have because, I'm just telling you, it's like death and taxes is coming.
On that note, happy Friday.